to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, January 31st, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Sometimes in life we get two choices. We either level up or we get left behind. And right now it feels like Nick Walker and Blessing Awodibu are choosing option number one. Last week these two linked up to train legs again, and as expected, it ended up being another legendary session as the two both ended up pushing one another to the limit. Nick's already gone on the record to say that he's taking most of the year off to prepare for the Olympia. And up to this point, I don't believe that Blessing's made any sort of official announcement about what's in store next. But if these two can keep doing what they've been doing so far, whenever they do end up making their season debuts, you can almost guarantee that the proof will be in the product. If you've been watching this show for any length of time, you already know how I feel about doubling down on your strengths. But Hassan Mostafa is really taking that to a whole new level, because at this point, I think he might actually be tripling down. In case you missed it a few days ago, Hassan released this physique update to let his fans know where he's at with his off-season progress. And as you can see, things are pretty damn good at the moment. Even though he didn't end up getting an Olympia bid last year, all things considered, Hassan had an incredible year. So if he can just keep his head down and trust in the process, checking that one off the list will only be a matter of time. Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that in the history of women's physique, no one's ever won 3 Arnold Classic titles? Now, granted, there hasn't been the same historical opportunity for this like there has been in other divisions, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Natalia Coelho has a chance to further cement her place in history this year. Believe it or not, when she won last year, she actually became the first athlete in the history of the division to own 2 Arnold Classic titles, which is a feat in of itself. But if she gets 3 in a row, it might set the bar so high that we don't see that record be eclipsed for quite some time. There's also a similar argument to be had about the winner of this year's Classic Physique title at the Arnold, because in the brief history of that division, no athlete has ever won that title twice. But if you've seen the updates from Alex Cambronero's camp recently, you know that the former champ stands as good a chance as anyone to find himself as the last man standing. He finished second last year behind Terrence Ruffin, and then he had a little bit of a speed bump at the Olympia where he dropped to 6th. But that 6th place was the lowest that he's placed in any show since he crossed over into the division. So if Alex comes in with a full head of steam, he could easily wind up carving out his own small piece of history as the first ever 2-time champ. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.